on circuit.
Welcome to another episode of the Unicorn Circuit, your weekly dose of Fanking, car news, conspiracies, weird snacks, stories, crappy cars, and other things. And before we go on, we need the internet to help us solve an intriguing mystery from last week's episode. Last week, you may remember, we received this box of snacks from somebody who watches the show, and there's an intriguing mystery came up. And I'd like to reveal that mystery now, because the mystery is something that we haven't been able to work out. This here is Kinder Surprise. They're like a kid's toy. There's chocolate and a snack. There's more milk and less cocoa or something.
There's an egg in there that has a little toy.
Well, there's meant to be. Our one looked like this. Look at that.
That's chewed.
That,
But the box
that
was
looks
sealed.
like a bite mark for sure. Now the box was sealed, and when we opened this, look what's inside. Little bits of chocolate, no toy.
Nothing.
Where'd
it go?
Where are they?
It was sealed up in a box. The box sat here for a couple of weeks, and then we opened it.
Did the sender of this, if you're watching, did you take them out and eat them and use the toys? If you did, that's cool. But this legit looks like either a person or an animal, because that there is like, I think someone just ate their way through the box.
Definitely nibbled through it, or a little rodent. But what rodents eat chocolate? Because if you feed a dog chocolate, that's bad, so maybe it's same for a rat.
Anyway, anyone? What happened? We've got a big show today, no bigger than
Massive.
usual, pretty small.
Yeah.
Let's hook right into the news.
I would say standard sized.
Yes, but then that would seem like...
One size fits all sized.
Yeah.
I tried a one size fits all hat
Oh,
on the
don't
other day.
talk about... the
man.
hat, sorry.
One
Thought
size
you
fits
meant
all hats and other things just don't fit.
a rubber hat.
No, they don't fit.
Was it a rain hat?
Yeah, it was
For
a
when
rain-
it gets wet?
A raincoat.
Was it?
I was showering in a raincoat.
Awesome.
Yep.
Unreal.
News.
All right, news. Let's do it. This week in news, Martin, we're going to kick off because it's the most commented thing from the other funny show we do, Marty
Huge / small. One size fits all news story.
Well, Martin, you're actually right. It is huge
But small.
and it's small. It's time to talk about the Focus RS head gasket
Bum, bum, bum.
extravaganza.
Yeah, it's big.
Now, apparently what happened, all of this is allegedly.
If you say Focus RS to someone, the first thing that comes out of their mouth or into
Fast
their comment section.
and mad.
Yep, after that, no, before that actually is head gasket? Question mark.
Yes, head gasket.
So they say it like that too. Everyone, head gasket? That's how they say it.
So-
So when I read the comment, head gasket? Like, what's happened to your head gasket?
My understanding so far is that the EcoBoost in the Mustang and the EcoBoost in the RS, while they share a lot of similar architecture, they are slightly different, including some of the channels that the coolant goes through.
Because the RS chops the Mustang.
It actually does.
It does.
It does. Now, a small number of Focus RSs apparently may have received head gaskets from the Mustang EcoBoost engine, and therefore
That's
didn't
the current
allow
theory.
some
Yep.
coolant to get to where it needed
Yep.
to get to.
Slightly
And-
different shape in the coolant passages on the head, which means it was blocked, which means heating problems,
Yep.
cooling problems.
Now, I've tried to do a little bit of research, and while
Wait,
there's no...
let's rewind. Some people don't know what a head gasket is. So you got the block of the engine and the head.
That's
the head's
where the
got all the
pistons
valves. In the block, the piston's doing that, and the head's the little valves are doing this. And they're two bits of metal. Sometimes made out of aluminium. Sometimes the block is made out of iron, steel, iron I think it is, iron block. And then they got heads. They're bolted together with head studs. If you watch the Cresta thing, we changed the head studs, which is the
Yep.
big bolts that join them together. And also you've got a head gasket, which is a little...
It's the cheese between the toast.
the cheese between the toast, exactly right. And you don't want to overheat it and melt the cheese.
Yes, and we're going to get to that in a second.
Sorry.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
That's what a head
aspect of
gasket
it
is.
in a moment.
Sometimes
So
made out of metal.
we tried to do a little bit of research, of course, and we did find some information on The Drive, who have done an article about this. And according to the Focus forum, like they've made a kind of a spreadsheet. And from what I understand, there's 48 cars so far that have been recorded that are affected. There may be more. There may be people who own them that are not on the intervals. But we're talking about thousands and thousands of cars. According to the Drive's article, there's 48 cars that are affected. That's really crummy if you're one of those 48 people.
sucks.
But what I would say is that there's thousands and thousands of other people, including us, our car doesn't have a problem, that don't have the problem. Ford is fixing the problem. And as they mentioned in that article as well, apparently, Martin, you might know about this, Subaru had the same problem in the mid-2000s and just went, see ya, fix it yourself.
See, that's the thing. Head gaskets blow. If you own a Subaru, anyone with a Subaru out there and a stock engine who's turned the boost up knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because if you try and ask too much of that engine, you can lift the head, which sometimes causes problems, or just blow the head gasket straight out. Too much cylinder pressure, cooling system that doesn't work, it overheats, it's part of overheating. And it can happen on any car. And I've heard a few people say, oh, the Focus will blow up if you put more boost in it. I think that's true for most engines.
Yeah.
Like you were saying before about the gentleman's agreement in Japan.
Well, the gentleman's agreement in Japan, they basically capped the car's power at 206 kilowatts, even though they knew they could make more. So we put up a thing on the Mighty Carmods Facebook last week about comparing the R34 GTR V-Spec 2 NER and the Focus RS. And the Focus RS kind of performs better in all these different categories. Now, that was a whole wormhole in itself for people going newer technology and different things. It was just a comparison. People going, you can't compare the two of them. You actually can. I can compare these scissors with that magazine if I want. One's sharp, one's not. You can compare whatever you want. It's the results that you get that actually are meaningful or meaningless. So where are we going with this? So the point was they had to turn the car down so that they could kind of adhere to this invisible and pretend unit of measurement so that all the cars companies were making the same thing. And later on, it obviously has the capacity to go up. Now, I saw some comments going, Focus RS can't handle boost. I think it's running like 26, 27
Huge
like
boost.
It's running huge boost already from the factory.
So I mean, in a Super Gramps, for example, that's on 8 psi.
Now that Tribeca engine's meant to run zero boost, right?
It's supposed to run zero. It flows a lot of air. It also shows.
Have you blown your head gasket?
No, I've done a ring land in it, which was from
and some drive shafts.
Yeah, drive shafts. Detonation causes those kind of problems anyway, and that was when we were also tuning it and everything. But yeah, it's supposed to run zero boost. This shows that a lot of the time engines are over-engineered. Now, interestingly enough, when we went and saw the engineers in Germany that built this car, built the engine, designed it from scratch, those guys were the ones we were asking questions. Like, we were kind of nervous to go, hey, at what point does the engine blow? And they're like, well, we got it pretty close, but also they do have to take into account warranty, durability. People are driving these things in minus 10 degree temperatures or colder. People are driving them in, 40 degree plus, like it is here sometimes.
He did say in our video, and I guess that's kind of from a corporation standpoint makes sense. We're kind of like, they make 350 horsepower. How much more can it make? And he said, we kind of got it up near the limit. Now, obviously they can go further, and there's probably some kind of concern of, you go 400, 450, whatever, then maybe there's more warranty or there's more whatever. So there's other considerations. And that was one of the struggles the engineers had because they make these crazy cars with loads of power. And then either marketing or warranty or servicing comes in and says, we kind of need to find a happy medium. And that's why they said, they're totally supportive from an engineering standpoint of people modifying their car, because if they can only afford to put in a $3 component and you, the end user or driver, wants to put in a $10 component, that's great, because by modifying the car, it brings it back closer to what their original vision was. So we will be continuing to modify ours. We are going to be upping the boost, and it might blow up.
We might find the limit of that engine, because that is just what happens. And it's also worth saying that the engine that's in that Focus, the engine that's in Super Gramps, and even the Honda engine that's in the Mini, they're not all that different. Yes, one design's a little bit newer. Often they're based on older engines. There's also things like weight to keep in mind. So you can make an engine that can do 1,000 horsepower, and some people do in like Evos and that kind of stuff, crazy fast engines. But these guys have to keep they got to keep it light.
Yeah.
Because that affects handling.
That's a doorbell, probably with Focus parts. So we're going to finish the news there, and let's kick it into, is that even legal? This week on Is That Even Legal, we've got a bit of a Norwegian theme on today's show, Martin.
Yes, we do.
A Norwegian theme.
Norway's
and
awesome.
Apparently, before you can buy a VHS player, I think they might still have some of them. That's a big plastic square that's got magnetic tape on it.
Cassette thing in
or a TV, just like the COE that you need, which is the Certificate of Entitlement to Buy a Car in Singapore, you need a COT. I just made that up. A Certificate of TV. You got to buy a license.
Oh, you got to do that in the UK as well.
You got to buy a license to have a TV.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a tax essentially.
You heard
have
about
it in the UK as well. You got to pay, and that's partly why UK TV shows often a lot of them are good, because they've got budgets, because every single person, got 65 million people.
Yeah, right.
And they've got to pay like a yearly TV tax, almost like a cable TV fee.
There you go. I had no idea. Let's kick it into, is that weird stuff off the internet?
This week in weird stuff off the internet, we have... Are you doing the mouth thing?
No, I was just smiling because I'm so excited about this option magazine.
We have a magazine, which is an option magazine. It's backwards because you would normally... Anyway,
this is like JDM 5003.
It's pretty awesome, and I suggest you get your hands on one if you do like JDM cars. Now, it's completely in Japanese, so you probably won't be able to read it, but the pictures are epic, and they're really big mags. This came from our friend Rob at Import Monster. He sent it over because he's like, check it out. There's something in here that you will recognise.
Is it that girl?
No, it's not that girl.
Oh, okay.
It's the double unicorn.
Double unicorn.
It's in there.
Made it into a JDM magazine.
VH41 V8. They didn't include the whole car, but they got the actual engine bay in, which is pretty cool because I wouldn't have seen much. I don't think many people have put VH41s, kept it all-wheel drive, added a turbo, V8, GTR front. It's a bit rare, so that's
Martin,
pretty cool.
As you keep telling everyone about that, I'm going to try and make my way through this because somebody sent us something.
Do you know the other weird thing about some of these magazines? I mean, the cool thing is they have all the different pages for the different tuning shops, so each tuning shop gets to show what it's been doing, which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
But they've also got sections in the middle, a lot of Japanese magazines do, where it just goes black and white.
Yep.
Something that's like, oh, look, we're back 40 years ago when everything was black and white. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And they've got like an option, like, hey, check out all the cars that the owners have with like turbo Mitsubishi Colts and
all
Daihatsus and
cool
Hondas.
Things that we like.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's so cool. What's that?
I don't know, mate, but thank you very much to whoever sent us this. Here we go.
Bourbon box?
It is a... Oh, it's jerky.
Did something else fall out of it?
A USB stick.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe that's how it's made.
Shall we see what's on there in a minute? Thank you very much, Chris's Beef Jerky.
Keep refrigerated.
It doesn't say keep refrigerated, does it?
It does.
Oh.
So I don't know if we can eat that.
No, I'll have a crack at it. I've been watching your stuff since you first got started many years ago. You're always entertaining, informative. I'm married to an Aussie. Well done.
Well done.
Playing this project since I started Unicon Circuit. Stoked to finally send it to you. Sorry about the length. 2 weeks of filming with a cell phone. I couldn't figure out what to cut. It's so long. I think it'll amuse you. Sorry about the shakiness. I'm pretty amateur at this. There's an MP4 included on the stick. What is it?
I don't know. Are we going to show it? We'll show it unless it's rude.
At the end of this episode, whatever it is, Jody and Shannon Wilcock from Marysville, BC, Canada, at the end of this episode, we will load this stick up and we will put it on there. It smells delicious.
It smells like beef.
It smells like smoky beef. It does say keep refrigerated, unfortunately.
The theory is, if the smell can get out, then air can get in.
Oh, okay.
Which is probably not a good thing.
We are going to play your video, unless it's just
something
like
weird.
Your penis.
Really
let's be honest.
Yeah.
Unless it's that. No one needs that.
What's next?
To see that. All right, what's next, man? It's Fanking. Fanking is the delightful and creative art of recontextualizing a product's name by taking a photo of it near your crotch. It's fantastic if you do it in a public place, and you can do it with one-handed, two-handed, three-handed. Get some friends together. You can get a communal fank session going on and just fank yourself silly on the wall, on the ceiling, in your supermarket. Leave your pants on. We did get an email from that guy last week who got arrested because he actually used
carried away.
He didn't use his hands to cover the letter.
He reverse fanked.
It was very funny,
yeah,
and very rude, but it was really rude, and he got in trouble. And the video of him being arrested was hilarious. It wasn't. Don't do it. That's not funny. No, let's get serious. Hi, Mum. All right, let's get into it. Fanking.
Fanking.
Boom. Nut cream. Good job. KFC. Unzip here for an easier eat. Mum, this is glazed buns. They look delicious.
It does.
Do you like glazed buns and pastries?
I would have a go at one. I don't mind a pastry.
Yeah. Martin, this is Nip's butt rub. Butt bum?
What does it say? What is it meant to say?
I don't know, man. I don't know what that is. It's Nip's. This is self-rising.
I like these ones. I like it when they're right in front of you, but no one's bothered to do it yet.
That's pretty good. Well done. Here it is. This is Biospawn. I don't know what it is. It's a, let me have a little quick look here. It's a plasma tail genetically engineered bait.
Oh, is that for fishing?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's for like freshwater marlin.
Oh.
Nobody's gonna lay a finger on my butt. Martin, that is what it is.
Love those mushrooms, eh?
Well done. We don't though. Naked.
Nice.
Good job.
Simple.
Naked power. Naked power, Marty.
Okay.
Is what that one
Simple
says.
and effective.
Here we go. This one is anus. It's just straight up. It's just. That's similar to the guy that we can't show.
No.
But it wasn't a thumb.
It was, yeah.
All right, Martin. This is it. This is a wiener.
I love these international ones.
This is why I put this on here, right?
Okay.
Okay. Because it says it's packed in brine, which is like a salty liquid, right? Here's the bit I don't understand though. Advertising on the label, they advertise it's extra crunchy. Have you ever wanted a crunchy sausage?
A crunchy wiener? No.
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 I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't think it should exist.
Is that a thing?
Crunchy
is it Norwegian?
sausage?
Does anyone want... I understand a hard sausage, like as in you want it to be like a bit like on the outside when you cut through it's kind of cooked well and all delicious. But crunchy? I don't want to get a sausage that's been soaking up
eats
brine
like a chip.
and then you eat it and it's crunchy. That's just weird, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm not into
Man,
that.
that's a hot tip. Don't know what a hot tip does.
Good.
But there you go. Well done. That's palm beef.
There's a lot this week, man.
There's only 3 more. Martin's so excited about his conspiracy theory section. He's.
I think it should go before Fanking.
He's not committed to the Fanking thing. Do you want to mix it up next week and move it forward?
Yeah, Fanking's
No, but you're just waiting because it's going to be good this week. No, we're almost there. Martin, this is a solar dried natural banana. What am I looking? Oh, it's a porn banana. Sorry. See, a porn banana. He's hard to impress today. Tough crowd with the old Burgertron.
Ah, I love that.
There you go.
That's the classic. If you go to the Fanking Facebook page, and you should, that's like the logo for it.
Is it?
Balls.
Great. Well done. And here it is, everybody.
Thank of the week.
Thank.
Oh, yes.
Man.
That's good. I rate it.
So rad to bounce off your vibe today, Martin. All right, let's get to the bit that Martin's been waiting for,
gasket?
everybody. This is tin foil hat cat.
Gasket?
What?
Tinfoil hat gasket? Whenever,
gasket.
When everyone's asking about a Focus RS gasket, remember I say that's how I hear it?
Oh. All right. What about the gasket?
Yeah, that.
Okay, cool. All right, let's cut to the let's cut to the cat,
Tinfoil hat
the
cat
graphics.
Tinfoil Hat Cat, man, is so good.
Yes.
I rate it so much.
What are you telling us
this week
today,
in
Martin?
Tinfoil Hat Cat, where we cover the world's most hectic conspiracy theories.
The flat world? Is it flat?
This week it's all about the flat earthers.
Really?
Yeah.
Electric? What?
No, it's flat
Isn't that
earthers.
electric fingers?
Yeah, it is, but it's the same because everyone, flat
Is
earthers.
it? Okay.
Everyone's always
Martin,
crapping
can you
on
tell
about
us
them.
quickly what flat earthers
Flat
believe?
earthers are people who believe the world is flat.
It is in sections.
It appears flat. It ain't flat. How did we prove it? Well, we didn't prove it. No one's proved it. Well, they have.
What?
They have proved it. But
What?
you don't.
You've been reading
people
too many
might-
conspiracy
No,
blogs,
not
man.
necessarily still.
Go to
believe-
space, look
But
down.
see, this is the thing.
It's a ball.
This is the thing, though. See, like, no matter how much proof you give someone, they still go, no.
Oh, okay.
Head gasket? No. Always, man. All the time. Anyway, so there's been a guy in the news recently who's flying a rocket. He's built his own rocket in his backyard to prove
That's cool.
that the world is flat.
Okay.
I think it's cool that he's trying to build his own rocket. What happened
As
is,
long as it's
though,
legal.
his rocket didn't work. So this is the third attempt, I think, to go and fly up into space and then take a photo because he doesn't believe that anyone else that's been to space, he doesn't believe their photo's real.
But why would they fake it? See, you've got to, when it's
I'm not
conspiracy
finished.
theories like this.
No, go.
That's cool.
But
No, I didn't know it was just your section, man. That's all right.
anyway, so his rocket didn't work.
No, shut up. I want to say my bit. All right, so check this out. You've got to ask yourself
then he
with
had
any
a sook, and
conspiracy
then he
thing like
started
that.
talking again.
You've got to say to yourself, what does anyone have to gain by... Now, if you had a T-shirt
Yep.
that said the Earth is flat
Yep.
and you wanted to sell it,
Yes.
then you say to everyone, no, it's flat, because then they buy your T-shirt.
Yeah.
What do people have to gain by suggesting that unless they're trying to undermine the common political and scientific thinking so they can inject their own spermatozoid into like their own ideas
definitely all
into
about the
whatever.
spermatozoids,
Do you know what I
whatever
mean?
they are.
Like they want to inject their
Anyway,
own thing.
so around the same time that
That's a question.
It's a good question.
No, why? Why are they trying to make us think that it's flat?
I don't know. It's a deep one, man,
Okay,
about
keep
people's
going. Just
needs
tell us
to,
what-
like, feel that they don't want to believe that they think they're on a different path and then
All right.
change it up. I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
that's
not a
like
psychologist.
the sovereign citizens thing. You know, people who are like, I don't have to be part of your law because I'm my own thing.
Yeah, so therefore I won't
let's
pay
talk
tax.
about
But I'll
that
still
next
go to
week.
hospital when I'm sick. Anyway, yeah, those kind of people.
Are they? I don't know. We don't actually.
I love parks, but I don't want to pay any tax. Anyway, don't get me started on that one. That's a whole other story. So, around the same time that old mate failed his launch.
Yes. Someone else didn't fail the launch.
They
They put a rocket in the space.
This is the guy that can also bring the rockets back. Not the guy, the company, the organisation. A lot of talented people working there. I've been there. It's cool.
Yep.
Marty
His
Moog's
name
fan.
is
I went to...
Steve Jobs.
No.
Is it that guy?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't make rockets, man.
Okay.
He's out there in space somewhere.
Yes.
Anyway, SpaceX launched a Tesla car into space, and it's taken selfies all around, floating around space, taking selfies of Earth.
Don't tell me the Earth's flat.
And in the background of the picture, what is the Earth?
Flat.
Round.
Oh. What? Maybe they used a fisheye lens.
See, this is how it starts, isn't it? Well, it's a fisheye lens, and that's why it appears round, but it's actually flat. The other question is, if you see a ship disappearing over the horizon, why does it sink?
What?
If it was flat, you could
Because it's
keep
the Titanic.
seeing it.
I feel like
You go
we've
up
talked
a tower,
about this before.
and then the horizon does this.
Apparently, that's a part of your eye converging. Some people
There's
go,
always an argument.
you can go out to the ocean and see there's a curve in the Earth. The
That's
Earth
a chromatic
is
aberration
what
of
is
the
it,
retina.
28,000 kilometres wide or long or wide or something?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, you can't actually see. That's an aberration in your frontal cortex ball sack. Isn't it?
No.
Anyway, so what's the conspiracy? The Earth is flat.
The conspiracy is that the Tesla is not actually up there. It's all happening in a movie studio somewhere, and they're floating around with black things and taking photos of the Tesla.
Why would they do it,
That's
though?
the conspiracy theory.
Why would they do
Exactly,
it?
I don't know. I believe that humans want to keep pushing the boundaries. You can see it in athletes, you see it all over the place. People want to, in science and engineering, they're like, what can we do that's better? Why make a focus faster than the 1989 focus? Why make it faster? Because that's what humans do. They're like, we can make this better. It's all about modification, making it better and improving. And then why would they make this up?
That's a good question. Like, why would they make the Focus RS faster than a Porsche 911 in a straight line? That's true.
Hey, guys, good. What's next?
All right. There it is, everybody. Let's move it on to my town. This week in my town, we're going to Norway, the birthplace of black metal, where bands like Burzum and Emperor and In the Woods and Gorgoroth and others burned down churches and murdered each other and started a cataclysmic music scene that imploded on itself in outrageous circumstances.
Now we have The Fox by Elvis.
Yes.
I don't know.
So
that might be
come a
Danish.
long way. But today, Martin, where are we going to?
Årsta.
I've never been to Norway, but I would love to go there.
Go.
And now we get to go there virtually. Here it is.
Hello Unicorn Circuit. Welcome to my town. It's Ørsta in Norway. We have about 10,000 people living around here. It's very nice. My name is Vega. My name is Håvard. And this is my Opel Frontera, which we'll be using for this tour. This is Arvingen, the local theater. Many stars have been born here. This is the local airport. They have about 7 arrivals a day. And there's a plane. This is the Ivar Aasen Museum. He was a lyrical legend. He invented New Norwegian. If you don't know what New Norwegian is, look it up. No, it's too boring. This is Ivar Aasen, which we mentioned earlier. He's been sitting here for some time. It's regarding the town park. This is the Ivar Aasen Hotel. It was recently sold for about 1 Norwegian krone because it had a lot of debt. How much debt they got? About 800 million krone. 800 million Norwegian krone. This is our shopping mall. This is a place where people park their boats. Right here, they make brown cheese and milk. This is the local beach. It's very popular. Thank you for watching. That was everything from mytown.
What a beautiful looking place.
What a mad
It's
tour.
like New Zealand without the accent.
It is. It looks colder as well.
And it's in Europe, on the other side of the world.
It is on the other
and
side
a
of the
totally
world.
different culture.
Apparently the poles are going to flip. Not
What?
the people who live in Poland. They're not flipping doing backflips. I mean, like, the magnetic poles, they flip apparently. Which is interesting because then Norway wouldn't be north anymore.
How can they
It
flip
would be
if the
south.
Earth is flat?
Because there's a rock of like metal in the middle of there's like a solid core to our Earth.
No,
and
there's
inside
not.
solid core, and then
No.
around the solid core
No.
is molten metal that's like constantly spinning.
No.
And then that has like some kind of event that then flips the poles because that's what creates the magnetic field that keeps us protected from solar rays. But that's going to flip apparently. It flips
What a
every
load
70,
of rubbish.
700,000, no, it flips every 300 or 400,000 years, and it hasn't flipped for 700,000. And they can prove this because
such a load of
there was these
Everybody knows
in
Honda engines are in the middle of the Earth and they power everything and make everything better. And that's why we go so fast through space. We were going really slow. Gravitational forces weren't very good. They can prove that VTEC has kicked in the molten inner surface of the Earth because our bones have got bigger. Our bones have got bigger is because VTEC kicked in, made us go faster, and then there's some change in the gravitational pull and our bones were thicker. They were thinner because the gravity was stronger. They were thicker. No, the faster you go, we are on our way to being squids, basically, because of VTEC. Squid just kicked in, yo. I'm going to get that on a t-shirt. Hashtag flat earth. Let's move on. I'm hungry. I'm done with this episode. Story time. This week in Story Time, we're going to tell you the story about the time that we bought the car part that didn't work. Do you remember that?
hasn't that happened like pretty much every time we've tried to do something?
No, the story time, we're talking about bolt-ons. We're talking about bolt-ons.
Not the
because-
kind of bolt-ons that you're thinking about.
No.
Car bolt-ons.
Now, people tell you that things bolt on and they don't, so I'm going to just tell everybody about the exhaust that we got for the S15. So we got a bolt-on exhaust, do you remember?
Oh, I do.
We got a
Yes.
bolt-on exhaust.
This is going back a while.
And we bolted it all on, and then when it was all done, it was 1 foot too short. So the actual muffler was that far underneath the bar. Now, it was a Nissan Silvia S15 bolt-on exhaust. We had to go and get a bit of pipe that was that long with like a flange on either end just so it would fit. So when people say something's bolt-on, it ain't always bolt-on. I know that story is not great, but the fact is, don't believe what you see. Don't believe the earth is round or flat. Don't. I have a question for you. Has nothing to do with that. It's a question that popped up this week, and I just haven't been able to. Yeah, you can try. I don't mean that in a condescending way. I just mean you can attempt to answer it. But the question posed was this: if the universe was invisible and everything in it was invisible, and you could suddenly appear within that space and look out, what would you see? There it is. Let's go to random meat bag, and then we'll finish this thing up. This week in Random Meat Bag, Martin, we've got a protein bar each.
We do. Now, these are protein bars that usually look like chocolate bars.
Yes.
Right? I know you're a fan of the Snickers.
I am
you
a
and
fan
I,
of the
you and I
Snickers.
don't partake in this too often
Because
because
it was my grandma's
you
favourite
got
ice
to
cream.
have a balanced diet, etc., etc. Be
I mean,
healthy.
it's not an ice cream, it's
So
chocolate.
eat a fruit or a vegetable and then eat one of these as a treat. It actually says on the back that like the website that you go to is like chocolatedrinksandtreats.com. Like they say on the back it's a treat.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, let's just look at how much sugar and stuff is in it.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot. That said, Martin, this is what's interesting, and I know you get really conspiratorial about the things.
It's all loaded up here,
But
ready to go.
normally,
man.
the ingredients in Australia, at least how it works, I don't know what it's like in your country, but it lists from biggest thing down to smallest thing. So if you go Martin, for example, it would go like number 1 ingredient.
Brains,
Intelligence, I was going to say that. Number 2,
hair.
no.
No, not on here. Here, everywhere else. Not on the head, dude. Come on, man. Oh, hair was down the end of the thing. It migrates down your back. Isn't that how it works? When you
Anyway,
get old,
and then
you
all
turn
the
into
way
an old
down-
bastard.
All the way down into grumpy old bastard, which
Hey,
would be
man.
like, no, that's the smallest ingredient. He just pops his head out every now and then.
Head-gasket.
That one.
No, head-gasket?
Anyway, the point is the number one ingredient says protein blend. We don't know what's in it.
No, I do. I researched this.
What?
Yes, dude. So there's a few things I want to talk about with my protein bar. Firstly, made in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
So they make this overseas and then send them over here, and they're distributed by nutrition companies.
No.
So you and I could start bigballnutrition.com and we could sell this stuff. Now, people who are into all their protein shakes and all that kind of substitute things for bodybuilding and everything. Wait a second.
No.
That's
No.
head-gasket?
Head-gasket?
Yeah, I
Look
see.
at that.
I know.
Look at the size of the chocolate bar versus like what's in it.
It's pretty
Are
disappointing
they
for
trying
this
to
one,
trick
isn't
us?
it? Like, it's disappointing for this because it thinks it's going to get the whole bar and it gets 3/4 of a bar.
Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to put the tip in and get it back in.
Anyway,
Finish
so
the story, Martin.
protein, the protein they use
I
in it.
legit have a Mighty Mods episode I have to edit, so let's get
So
it
main
done.
ingredient is protein blend, which is soya protein isolate, milk protein
Oh, did
isolate,
it tell you what it is?
skim milk powder, and then whey protein concentrate. Now, a lot of the time you see, you know when you see on protein shakes it says whey protein, do you know what whey is?
No, is it tofu?
No. Do you want to
to
have 3 guesses as what it is?
Fat?
No.
Vegetable extract?
No, I wish it was.
Oh.
Do you know what it is?
I don't know.
It's the leftovers from when they produce cheese.
Oh.
It's the byproduct of cheese manufacture. It's made out of milk product. So whey, the stuff you've seen that big, you're like, oh, yum, protein, getting all big and muscly. It's leftovers from when they make milk and cheese products. And it's like a liquid. It's leftover milk schmutz.
Okay.
And it makes me feel a bit yuck. I'm still going to try this.
You can eat pea protein.
Yeah, see, vegetable
From
protein,
peas?
vegetable stuff
And
I'm
you
all right
can-
with because you can walk up to a tree and like eat a thing off a tree, like a berry or a
That's
fruit
too
or a
chewy.
vegetable.
That's too chewy.
And you can
I'm not
smash
really
it.
into that, man.
And you can
I
smash
want
it,
it all.
right? Do you want to try a bit of this one?
I want to see how big it is. Pull it out.
Oh, I reckon.
Is yours bigger? Relative to the packet?
No, mine seems to be pretty reasonable. Like it's still.
Martin, let's call it done. Thank you for watching the Unicorn Circuit. I was a little bit loose today. We are working on our other YouTube show at the moment. And so my conspiracy theory is that a Snickers bar is just a Mars bar and nuts moved in.
It's always got that powdery stuff going on, doesn't it? That's what all the protein stuff always tastes really powdery.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Keep
Not
your
bad,
eyeballs
though.
on the other channel. We've got Mighty Mods because there's a couple of videos coming out in the next little bit. And we'll see you again next week for more Unicorn Madness. See you then.
Unicorn Circuit.
Hello, Mighty Unicorn Circuit mods. I'm going to give you a episode here. Probably mytown, mycrapcar. Is it legal? A hair of Fanking maybe? I don't know. We'll see what have you. Anyways. All right, what exactly are you doing here today?
We're going to try to put this 235 in here and thread.
Hopefully that one lasts more than 2,500 miles. Electric bicycles. That's a 74 from Germany. And this is a 77 off to work. This is my wife Shannon. You may recognize her. She's here to tell you about her crappy car.
Ode to my country. He got a maple leaf. I was born in Blacktown Hospital. Lived in Quakers Hill for 2 years of my life, and then lived in Londonderry for the rest. Here's my crappy car. We got it for $200 from across the road because he wouldn't change. What was it? He wouldn't fix in it.
I think he was embarrassed to drive it.
Okay.
All the parts are going to go on another crappy car, I hope.
54 Pontiac.
It used to be a scooter. It's got pedals on it. Hopefully that keeps the policeman happy. That's a pedal bike. This is the Coast longboarding bus. Fixing up for a friend so that they can tour around and skateboard with a whole bunch of hooligan skateboards. They show up in your neck of the woods. When do they show up? Where do they go to your neck of the woods?
Mount Panorama. Bathurst.
Mount Panorama. They race there once a year. This is a, I don't know, 27 or something, Model A. It's got plants in it. Okay, back here is another crap car. This is, I traded 2 skateboard decks for this. Green with a white interior. How could you go wrong? Some sort of aftermarket suspension system. between my crap car and Shannon's crap car, we might be able to build a cool one. Here's another crap car. This is probably my favorite. It's a 83 Civic that I've gutted out. This Catastrophe is a same era Prelude engine that's been bored and stroked and blueprinted and balanced, and the head's been done, and a custom camshaft. It's turbocharged, of course, underneath all the spider webs down there. Lots of toys. That runs pretty good. It's old, but tried and true. That's a Rambler 66, Rambler American. That one I traded a skateboard for. And that one cost me $1,000 a long time ago. I need one more of these, and then I will make a van trailer combo. Oh, what's this? Oh, geez. What's wrong with your ear, George? That's our skate park. This is the only intersection in town up here. That's it. That's the highlight of town. This is probably one of the best views in town. This is on the roof of the skateboard factory. Sometimes we drink beer up here after work, but we don't tell the boss. This is Rails to Trails going down. Now we'll go get the truck, drive back up. Just gotta watch out for deer, mothers, bears, dogs, cougars. I've been driving around for most of the video. I guess this section is it legal? And I'll leave that for you to decide. It's a 1965 Ford pickup that was pretty rotten in the bottom, and I picked up for $400. I found a 1973 Cadillac DeVille with the same wheelbase. So, cut up the bottom of the Ford, made it fit over the Cadillac frame. It's channeled a lot. It's got the Cadillac big block 472. These are out of a Chevy 4x4 pickup, the inner fender wells. I wussed out and put on a good carburetor and a good ignition system just to make my life easy. Engine's rebuilt, suspension's all new, brakes are all new, shocks, everything's new. But it looks like a rusty old truck. And this window, we smashed the window when we closed the door one day, so it was easier just to replace the door. The box is actually a tilt box. It tilts up and out of the way, and that's solely to get the tires off. It's a functional box, as functional as it can be. I store our dirt bikes, snowmobiles, everything in here. It's got a bump here. This is old water trough for horses. And this is the floor out of an old shack at the local pulp mill. It's got cool power seats, nice little joystick, all functional. And here's what it does. Got some switches in here. Sitting flat on the ground, zero pressure in the gauges. There's how it sits. Has 1/2 inch clearance. I can literally drive it like that. I haven't modified the frame. I put in airbag suspension, made my own kit basically to make all that fit, but the frame is basically stock unmodified Cadillac frame. Suspension, other than I airbagged it, stock unmodified.
We have kebabs.
Well, that's it. Thank you, mighty internet unicorns. We'll finish this with a traditional burnout for y'all. As is tradition on every wood bridge, you should do a burnout.